just really reflecting on this thought that I am so thankful for the opportunity to fight. I am so grateful and so thankful for the opportunity to get up every day and just get at it. Like, when was the last time you just woke up and just were thankful and grateful that you just get to get at it? A lot of times we just get up in the morning and we're just like, oh, another day. Another day, because we're bored with what we got to do today. We're bored with what we had to do yesterday. We're bored with what we got to do tomorrow. And we lose sight of this notion that we need to be thankful for the opportunity to fight. Let me give you some reasons. Like, I'm just grateful and thankful for the opportunity to fight, to get up every single day and fight for my marriage, fight for my wife, fight for my kids, to be able to do what I've got to do to be there for them. Like, I'm just so grateful to be able to fight for my church, to fight for my assignment, to fight for my dreams, to fight for God's will in my life, to fight for my business, to fight for every area. I'm just grateful and thankful for the opportunity to fight. And I really want to share on that and what that means this morning. As we're in Gratitude 2023 right now, how many of us have squandered opportunities because it meant we had to fight? Think about that for a second. How many of us have missed opportunities because it meant that we had to fight for the opportunity, that we had to fight for something? That God intended for us to have something, but because we were not willing to fight, because we were not thankful for the opportunity, we did not fight and we missed out on opportunity. Like, I'm so thankful for the ability to fight. And as I was preparing this, God brought me back to when I was about 11 years old. So I know some of y'all are going to be able to relate, some of y'all won't. But how many guys know an incredible, historical, infamous boxer by the name of Mike Tyson? Come on, even if you're young, you better know, period. If you know what, if the person next to you did not raise the elbow them for being too young, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. But Mike Tyson is still around. He's still making his presence known today. But I was about 11 years old. It was February of 1990. And tell me, guys, how many of you guys remember this? Mike Tyson was like indestructible. I mean, his nickname, Iron Mike Tyson, right? Like, nobody could beat him. The reality is nobody had seen a fighter like him. The power that he had, the speed that he had is just crazy. He was just destroying everybody he went up against. And it was 1990, and he was supposed to have a fight. He was at that time, he was the youngest heavyweight champion in the world. He had, for those of you guys who know, he had gotten the WBC belt, the WBA belt, the IBF belt and the WBO belt. He had gotten all the championships you can possibly get in the heavyweight division. And he was just the undisputed champion. And the next one he was supposed to fight was supposed to be Evander Holyfield. How many of you guys know who he is? I'm talking to all my old heads for a second. All right. Evander Holyfield was the next fight up, who was also just a complete stud. Okay, but the negotiations for an early fight in the year broke down, so they were going to fight at the end of the year. And that was supposed to be like the fight of fights in that season. But because that fight got pushed to the end of the year, Mike Tyson had to fight early on in the year, and they set him up with a fight by the name of Buster Douglas. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? They set him up with a fight by the name of a guy named Buster Douglas. So Mike Tyson was undefeated, most of his wins coming by way of knockout. This guy, Buster Douglas, he had several losses, couple draws. He was definitely not the guy who was supposed to be a threat to Mike Tyson. He was not that guy. He was supposed to be a tune-up. He was supposed to be a warm-up for Evander Holyfield. And I watched all of Mike Tyson's fight, and I remember like it was yesterday. I'm sitting in my parents' living room, and I'm watching the Mike Tyson fight, and and in the 10th round, Buster Douglas knocks down Mike Tyson for the first time in Mike Tyson's career. Not only did he knock him down, but while he was trying to get up, he kept stumbling, trying to get his mouthpiece in. Wasn't happening. Got knocked out. Mike Tyson, one of the greatest boxers of all time, undefeated at the time, got knocked out in the 10th round by, his name is Buster Douglas. He's just a straight buster. He should not have won. You understand what I'm saying? But he won. And he wasn't the fight that Mike Tyson was supposed to have. It was supposed to be Evander Holyfield. Later on, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson fights, and I think Mike Tyson was mad that Buster Douglas stepped in. Maybe that's why he bit his ear later. Whatever, I'll leave you guys. You guys remember he bit his ear? No? Look it up. Mike Tyson bit off Evander Holyfield's ear, maybe because he skipped out on this fight, whatever. But so Buster Douglas beats Mike Tyson. Why did I say all that? That you better believe that Buster Douglas was thankful for that opportunity to fight, because it made him a world champion. And sometimes in our lives, we lose sight of the fact that we need to be thankful for the opportunities to fight, because the first point of my day today for you guys is we have to be thankful for the opportunity to fight, because without the fight, there is no glory. If Buster Douglas never got that fight, he would never have become champion. And he was only champion for a short while, but he experienced the glory in the moment. Go with me to 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 6 through 7. If you're looking for a reason to get excited about a fight, you have to understand that without a fight, there is no glory. In all this, verse 6, you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while you may have had to suffer grief in all kinds of trials. In other words, you may have had to fight. These fights, these have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, which is of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. Without the fight, there is no glory. There's a couple things that we have to understand that come to us through the fight. We have to understand that the fight, the trials that you go through, they will reveal the sincerity of your faith. If you want to know that you are really a sound believer, that God can do stuff in your life, that God is doing stuff in your life and through your life, you have to understand that the sincerity of your faith is only shown and only proven through the trials and through the battles, through the fights. That's it. Because nobody ever fought for something that they didn't have, or that they already had, I should say. If you got it, you no longer have to fight for it. You might have to fight to maintain it, but you no longer have to fight for it. But the sincerity of our faith demonstrates that the fight reveals the sincerity of our faith. And the scripture here tells us that faith has a greater value than even gold. Faith is, and write this down if you're taking notes, faith is your most valuable currency. And when you talk about currency is always intended for exchange. I'll get into that a little bit. But the currency of your faith is only proven when you're spending it in a fight. What's the exchange that you get when you spend your faith? What did it say to us? It says that result, when our faith has been proven, is what? Praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed. When we are no longer thankful for the opportunity of the fight, here's a reality. It's because you're no longer willing to fight. You've thrown in the towel. And I'm sure that many of us here have gotten weary in certain fights and certain battles, that we're tired of them, like we don't want to keep going in them because they're too tough. They seem like they're too difficult. But the reality is we're going through that process where our faith is being tested. Our faith is being proven. How do we know if we're genuine? How can you ever know if you're genuine unless you get into a fight? I'm talking in a faith sense. But let's talk about it in a natural sense. The example, Buster Douglas would never have known that he was championship material unless he faced the champ. You understand? He wasn't champ material for long, don't get me wrong, okay? But every person who is going to be a champion has to get into the fight. You have to get on the field. You have to compete. And our faith is only proven through the trials. So we have to learn to be thankful for the opportunity to fight, because without the fight, there is no glory. I'm also thankful for the opportunity to fight because I understand that it is God who strengthens me for every battle. How many of you guys can get excited about the fact that God will partner up with you so that you can fight the battles that you have to fight? Like, that excites me to know that God has a plan for me. That plan is good, and that he wants me to fight these battles, not only so that my faith can be shown true, but that I can share in the glory that he is intended to have through me. Psalm 18, 32 to 35. This is the concept of that it is God who strengthens me for every battle. Psalm 18, 32, 35. It is God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure. Look how he does that. Look how he arms you. Look how he strengthens you. Look how he keeps your way secure. He makes your feet, or he makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He causes me to stand on the heights. He trains my hands for battle. My arms can bend a bow of bronze. You make your saving help my shield, and your right hand sustains me. Your help has made me great. In this verse, there's so much to unpack. He says he prepares us for the battle. What's the reality? We've seen it before. We've read it before in Matthew chapter 6, 34. He says, therefore, do not worry about tomorrow. Why? For tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has troubles of its own. How many guys understand that and say amen? Because they have them. Each day you wake up, you're going to have your trouble. But each day when you wake up, you have to settle into the gratitude and the thankfulness that it's God who strengthens you for those battles. What does he want to get out of the battle? He wants your faith to be solidified. He wants it to be shown, to be proven, to be tested so that you can be strengthened. And while you're being strengthened and while your faith is being proven, he is strengthening you in the process. Like, he doesn't just throw you out there to fight. He prepared you for the fight. That's good news. Like, he didn't just put you out there to die. Like, he put you out there to win. How did he do that? He gives us a couple things. Okay, that strength and security that come through us because he makes us. What does he make us first? He makes us to have feet like the feet of a deer. Have you ever watched the National Geographic special? Where something is hunting the deer? A lion or other type of predator? The second that deer finds out they're being hunted, what do? They're gone. They're out. They are as nimble can be, as fast can be. Why? Because the lion's fighting for a meal, the deer's fighting for its life. They're out. They're gone. And when he says here that he makes my feet like the feet of a deer as he's preparing me for the fight, one of the things you have to understand is God will make you nimble. He will make you able to pivot in a moment's notice. Things aren't going well. He'll be able to turn, to make you turn, to be able to get things on the right direction if you understand it's him who's strengthening you. Are you hearing me? Like, when things are falling down, he'll make you to be able to pivot. He gives you feet like a deer. You can run faster. You can run harder. You can change on a dime when you understand it's God who is strengthening you. The next thing he says is that he makes us to stand on heights. How many Star Wars fans, or not Star Wars, oh my gosh. No, it is Star Wars, sorry. Luke Skywalker, Star Wars, sorry. The originals, right? But like, how many guys remember the scene when Anakin, before he became Darth Vader, was fighting with Obi-Wan Kenobi? And what happened? Obi-Wan Kenobi had the high ground, right? And he was like, yo, bro, don't do this. You're going to lose. I've won. Because anybody who understands military strategy, you want to have high ground. You never want to be on the bottom looking up. Yes or no? Like, you have to, high ground is the strategy. You want to be fighting from top. You don't want to be fighting from down. And in that movie, Obi-Wan Kenobi is like, listen, bro, don't do it. It's going to end up bad. And it ended up really bad for him. Like, what did he lose? His legs and his arms or something? He lost like everything, right? Like his arm, I think he also lost his leg. He lost everything. He was a hot mess, right? And then he became Darth Vader. His life turned all kinds of dark and it all went downhill, right? And it was all because he had low ground. What does he make us to do? Look at it in verse 33. He causes me to stand on the heights. If you're going to be in a battle, God will place you on high ground. He will place you in a position to fight from. You may say, but Pastor, it doesn't seem like I'm a high ground. It's because you're looking with your natural eyes. God has already placed you in a position from which to fight. You have to understand that God has strengthened you. In every struggle, outward or inward, you have the high ground because you have God on your side. Verse 34, he trains my hands for battle. Oh, He's training us to do what we've got to do if we are looking to him for that training. He shields us and sustains us, and his help has made me great. Why can I be thankful for the fight? Not only is it because there is no glory without a battle, I also have to be thankful for the opportunity to fight because I understand that it's also an opportunity for God to strengthen me. Because God's desire is to strengthen me. God's desire is to position me, to put me on high ground, to be able to win the fights. What you don't understand is you have the high ground in him. You understand? You have the high ground in him. You have the place from which to fight because he has placed you there. This is a promise of God. It's in Psalm 18. I just read it to you. We got to start knowing that he's placed us on the high ground and stop thinking that, oh, everything's, woe is me, I'm down here, I can't. No. His promise is that he's placed you in high ground.